Hi, my name is Miriam Parker. I'm a licensed clinical social worker at Revitalize Wellness Center in Scappoose, Oregon. In this section, we will first talk about how pain and social interactions work together. Then we will hear from some folks like you and what they did to help themselves. Then we will look at some steps to take and help you think about setting some goals for yourself. First, let's take a minute to look at how pain and social interaction work together. When you are struggling with pain, do you find that you isolate yourself from others? Avoid social activities and stay alone in the house a lot by yourself? Have little patience for the people in your life, even when they're trying to help you? When people live with pain, it is very common to become isolated and avoid spending time with friends, family, and community. When you become more isolated, you tend to do less, worry and focus on pain more, and it's a lot easier to become more worried and anxious about pain. Remember that brain map for pain? Many parts of that map have to do with our social life. Isolation tends to feed pain. It contributes to the brain becoming more wired for pain. And it's important to recognize that changing just a few habits about socializing, connecting more with others, can begin to rewire the brain and change your pain. The most important steps are the ones that are right for you. So let's look a little further, and then you can decide how this relates to you and your life. Family and caregivers are one of the most powerful types of social connections. These are the people who hear about and see our struggles up close on a daily basis. Many of us worry about burdening them with our pain. They might get tired of hearing about it or frustrated that they don't know how to help us feel better. That can make you retreat even further into isolation, bringing up feelings of worthlessness or even shame. All of that makes pain so much worse, making you and your family feel hopeless and stuck. What we've learned, though, is that bringing in new tools and taking an active approach to managing your pain can help start to reverse all this. In fact, the more you share these tools and information with your family and get them involved, the better. So I really recommend that you take time every day to connect in a positive way with your family and caregivers, helping everyone feel more connected and hopeful. Our next type of social connection is friends. When you're tired and in pain all the time, it's so normal to limit your activities to those that cause the least pain and exhaustion. Hanging out with old friends or trying to meet new people is often one of those activities we lose as we try to avoid pain. This backfires in a big way, however. That means we are losing out on important social connections. Remember, our brains are hardwired for human connection. Spending time with others, having fun, sharing experiences, this releases powerful neurochemicals that help us feel more confident and capable. Research has shown that spending time with friends provides significant pain relief and antidepressant qualities. Plus, being with old friends who know your life story can help you reconnect with a sense of identity that might have gotten lost since life became all about pain. So pick up the phone, go out for a coffee, write a letter, anything to connect with old friends or make some new ones. Another important social connection is getting together with people with whom you share a common interest. For many of us, this might be a church or spiritual community, maybe a senior center, a volunteer opportunity, or even just a fun community festival. The point is that you get together with a group of people in person and spend time engaged in a common activity. Doing this kind of thing can help us reconnect with your personal values, bringing back an important sense of meaning and purpose. This activates networks in our brain that help us feel more connected and less alone, which alleviates pain and improves coping. Getting active in community groups also improves your energy level and helps you sleep better. More great tools in the pain management toolbox. So take a look around your community to see what kind of group options are happening around you. Even doing something once a month can make a big difference over time. In addition to in-person groups, there are many options for connecting online that can be helpful in managing your pain. These might be social media pages or online support groups. These kind of activities can help you connect with people who have some similar experiences or backgrounds. It can be really helpful to know that you are not the only one dealing with pain. There are many, many people out there struggling with some of the same issues as you, but you might never know it if your social life is limited to just the people you see on a day-to-day basis. These online groups can be a good forum for hearing about what other people have tried, as well as providing validation for what you've been through. If you're going to try an online group, look for one that offers positive, active support and doesn't delve too much into negativity or promise quick fixes. Another helpful option is to seek out an in-person group specific to chronic pain management. Many communities are now offering support groups or even educational classes designed to help you learn new ways to manage pain and address feelings of isolation and depression that tend to accompany persistent pain. There is a lot of evidence that shows these activities are an effective tool in lowering pain, but also improving quality of life at the same time. Being around other people with a similar experience, getting a chance to tell your story, and learning new active ways to manage pain can have a wonderful effect. Check with your healthcare provider to see if there are any pain management groups happening in your area.
What about your social life? And how does a flare-up or bump in the road impact your social life?
Well, a flare-up, I have to be very vigilant about not going back to the old behaviors, because basically, before I connected to my emotional pain, I withdrew. I don't have to withdraw, because withdrawing actually makes things worse and takes me longer to recover.
I utilize all the things I learned. I'm on the library board. I'm working with an organization that works with homeless youth. And I do teach. I go into the community and I do these lectures, presentations on everyday mindfulness. Yeah. And so it's like by giving away what I've received, it's just really, it's good for me. I always have a pet. I always have a pet. Right now I have a cat and he's 14 years old. And that provides a lot of solace. Yeah. And I have a very broad social circle. I laugh a lot. I laugh an awful lot. And help other people. When I help other people, I don't feel my pain.
Is there anything else about your story, about your journey, that you would like other people to know?
Well, for one thing, I'd have to say that I also learned to forgive.
So we have talked about how pain and social life work together and heard from some folks like you who have made some changes that have helped them. In this goal setting section, you will be able to choose something that is meaningful for you and realistic to achieve. So let's think about something you might start with, something that you can be successful with in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Let's look at taking a community class. What are some of the steps that you can take to get started on that, to get you working towards that goal? A first step might be to find a community center and look in the catalog. Think about something fun that you would feel excited about doing. You may have questions and want to talk with someone you know about the best option for you. This could be a healthcare provider or anyone from your healthcare team or a friend or family member. The class should be something you can physically do with a little preparation. First step, what do you need to do to get ready? Do you need to get any equipment like paints or sneakers? Second step, think about the level of activity required for this. Third, make it social. Think about asking a friend or a family member to join you. Last, make sure you have a plan for transportation. You might find someone in the group you can carpool with. We've created a handout that summarizes the information from this video. The first page gives some general ideas about ways to improve your social connections. Page 2 goes into more detail with examples of social connections. And then at the bottom of the page has space for you to write down your own goals and the steps needed to achieve them. Most importantly, remember, this is a process, so be patient with yourself. Celebrate each step, no matter how small. They all add up. So do you feel ready to set some social goals for yourself? Excellent, let's do this.